So, the Among Us show is finally actually real. After 3 years of trust me, it's coming, Paramount just shadow dropped all 10 episodes with zero warning. And to be honest with you, it's way better than a show based on a mobile game about space murder has any right to be. So, me and the boys binged the whole thing. We argued about it for way too long, and now we're doing what the internet does best, which is ranking every single character from worst to best. Quick warning, full spoilers ahead. The show's only been out a few weeks, so if you haven't finished it, go watch it, come back, and then get mad at our list. Deal? Deal. Also, drop your own ranking in the comments before we start, because I guarantee you at least one of our picks is going to make somebody type in all caps. Let's get into it. Number 11, we have White. But that's okay, somebody has to be last, and White basically volunteered by dying in episode 1. White is that, or should I say was that rich guy who won a contest to ride on the Skeld. No skills, no awareness, has never worked a day in his life, and to be fair, him and Green both piloting the ship with a combined 0 qualifications is one of the funniest scenes in the whole first episode. But then the pizza party happens, my man walks in looking confused and gets sliced clean in half in front of everybody. Ouch. Blood everywhere, pizza ruined, and that's the exact moment the show tells you, oh, by the way, we're that kind of show. So White's not last because he's bad, he's last because his entire job was to die horribly and set the tone. Well, mission accomplished. Rest in pieces, Hamado. At number 10, we have Lime, the engineer. Now, Lime is basically the Among Us show playing 4D chess with everyone who's ever played the actual game. Think about it, he's found hanging out inside a vent in episode 1. He refuses the med-based scan because he thinks they're gonna steal his DNA. Every Among Us instinct in your body is screaming, that's the impostor, vote him now. And then it turns out, he just likes vents. That's it, that's the whole thing. He's not sus, he's just weird. He was actually one of the aliens' first victims, and we all suspected a dead man because the show knew exactly how our game brains worked. Great twist, genuinely funny character, but he spends most of the season as a body, so number 10 it is. Number 9, Orange, HR/Mira Corporation. Orange is HR, and I mean that as the biggest insult possible. The crewmates get sliced in half. Orange files 422 pages of notarized liability paperwork. The ship is literally falling apart. Time for a trust ball exercise. She has a full panic attack in one episode. Not because alien eggs are hatching, but because company inventory is getting damaged. If you've ever worked a corporate job, this character is going to hurt your soul. And her death might be the darkest joke in the show. The crew votes to reject her, and she's so corporate-brained that she congratulates everyone on a successful injection while floating to her death, then splats against the cafeteria window. Iconic, yes, but she's a one-joke character. It's just a really, really good joke. At number 8, we have Red. Oh, Red, the captain, the leader, the single most punchable character in the entire show. Fred is every incompetent manager who failed upwards. He assigned himself to timeouts during emergencies. He takes credit for Purple fixing the O2. His leadership manual is a corporate handbook that says things like, reassure crew with the phrase, no biggie. His signature move, the captain's kick, is literally just pressing buttons with his foot. And here's the thing, people die because of this man. He leads the vote that ejects an innocent crewmate, not once, but arguably twice. So why isn't he lower, you ask? Well, because he's hilarious, and because the finale actually lands. Red sits alone, quiet for the first time all season, finally realizing how badly he failed everyone. That hit harder than I expected. He's a terrible captain, but a great character. Number 7, Brown. Brown barely talks, and somehow, he's responsible for 2 of the saddest moments in the show. He's the quiet half of the kitchen duo with Yellow. They bond over show inserts and candle scents and union benefits. Just 2 co-workers who genuinely like each other. Then episode 7 happens. The vote against Yellow comes down to a tie, and Brown is the tiebreaker. His silence is the vote, and then he has to pull the lever himself on his best friend. The next episode, he's making a memorial pizza for her, finds a hidden tin of flaky salt with a note Yellow left him, and then the impostor drops out of nowhere and kills him mid-grief. The show did not have to do him like that. Quiet King deserved better. Who is what happens when the show introduces one competent, emotionally stable adult and then immediately punishes him for it? He's the ship's doctor, he's calm, he actually investigates, he finds the pink residue on White's remains, runs the maybe scans, discovers the alien DNA mutation. The man is basically one episode away from solving the entire mystery by episode 3, which is exactly why he dies in episode 3. Melted into a puddle of the same pink residue he was studying. That's poetic and horrifying at the same time. And even dead, Blue carries the plot. Everything the crew figures out later is built on his research. He's the foundation of the whole investigation. If he had survived one more week, half the cast would still be alive. Black, number 5, the geologist. Black has the best glow up in the show, and it doesn't cost her a single brain cell. Just her ego. She starts off as the cold, sarcastic geologist who thinks everyone around her is an idiot, especially Cyan, her crystal-loving research partner who she shuts down constantly. Vibes are not science, and Black will die on that hill. Then episode 8 happens. Black reads Cyan's dream journal, after Cyan's already dead by the way, and realizes every woo-woo thing Cyan said was actually a correct observation of the alien. The ore having bad energy, real. It wants to be one. That's literally how the alien assimilates people. Cyan even roasted Black's whole personality using her zodiac sign, and she was right. Watching Black sit without regrets, knowing she can never apologize, is the most human moments in the show. And then she has to crawl through the alien's flesh nests in the vents right after. Rough season for this woman. Number 4, Cyan, the gemologist. Not geologist, gemologist. She will correct you. For most of the season, Cyan is comic relief. The aura-reading, crystal-changing crewmate who seems allergic to actual science. The show wants you to roll your eyes at her. And then you find out she was the only person on the entire ship who knew something was wrong. Her dream journal called the alien threat episodes before anyone else had a clue. While the smart people were arguing in meetings, Cyan was out here trying to neutralize a cosmic horror with cleansing salt and an amethyst. Her tools were wrong, but her instincts were perfect. She's the show's secret prophet disguised as a joke. And her death is what kicks off the trial that gets Yellow killed. So she matters even after she's gone. The vibes were immaculate. Top 3. Green. Or should I say, our impostor. Be honest, Green fooled you. He fooled all of us. The broke intern from a warm farm whose whole town saved up to send him to space. Eager, loyal, scared of everything. Volunteering for every gross job on the ship. For 8 straight episodes, he is the single most protectable character in the whole show. And it's all a performance. Every bit of it. The reveal in episode 9 doesn't just surprise you, it makes you rewind. Him always being near the bodies wasn't bad luck. It was haunting. The no bones scan was right there in episode 3 and we all laughed it off. By the finale, he's done pretending. A full alien sitting on a nest of flesh in the vents, wearing his own cracked visor like a trophy. That's nightmare fuel in the show that started with trust ball exercises. Best twist in the show, top tier villain. The only reason he's not number 1 is the 2 characters ahead of him hits even harder. Number 2, we have Yellow. If you didn't feel something during episode 7, check your pulse. Yellow is loud, union proud, protective of her wages, and genuinely excited that the mandatory med-bay scans count towards her insurance deductible. She's the most normal person on this ship. She just wants to cook and get paid fairly. And the crew kills her for nothing. No evidence, just panic and vibes, and Red leading the mob. Our own cooking partner cast the deciding votes. They press their hands against the airlock glass. Brown pulls the lever, and as Yellow floats away, she gives the entire crew a double middle finger salute that freezes solid. Permanently, she's eternally flipping off our murderers from space. And then they wait for her to turn into an alien, and she just doesn't. She was innocent the whole time. Funniest character and the biggest gut punch. The frozen salute is the image of the season. Number 1, Purple. Was it ever going to be anyone else? Purple is right about everything. Episode 1 warns about the broken cameras, ignored. Fixes the O2 sabotage when nobody else can. Figures out the cut wires, prove intentional sabotage. Deduces there might be a second impostor. She's the only one who votes against red on principle when the mob goes after yellow, and she's the one who finally catches green with an actual deduction. You know, evidence, the thing nobody else on the ship seems to have ever heard of. Her reward for all of this? Nothing. Nobody listens. Ever. He's every player who has ever typed, "I saw him vent," and still get voted out. And in the finale, when everything's collapsing, she's fighting the alien on top of its own nest, still doing her job, no authority, no backup, no credit, just competence and spite. The best player stuck in the worst lobby. Hey, that kind of sounds like me. Purple is number 1, and it's not close. And that's the list. Purple takes the crown, yellow deserves better, and green deserves jail. Alien jail, whatever that looks like. Now, here's where you come in. What did we get wrong? If you're a red defender, I need to hear the arguments in the comments because I don't believe you exist. And if you think green should have been number 1, make your case. I'm listening. If you enjoyed this one, a like genuinely helps the channel more than you think. And subscribe if you want more Among Us content because we are not done with this show. And hey, come argue with us in the Discord channel. Link is in the description. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, it was never lying.